I travel around a lot and talk to different audiences, and people ask me all the time, but Brian, what about this campaign against teachers? What about the way everybody hates teachers? And I'm beginning to believe that there's other currents going on. Yes, they have the mainstream media, and yes, they put this on 24/7, but there's something else going on in people's heads out there. Because why else would their latest feature film venture be such a spectacular flop? They had liberal Hollywood superstars, Won't Back Down, had the lowest box office receipts of any film in its category for 50 years. I haven't been able to even locate Michelle Rhee's book, Radical, in a bookstore. Like, these people, I think, had a certain arrogance that, like, the public is with us, you know? It's almost like the Iraq War. Like, they're going to greet us as liberators. And then they got there and realized that people have brains and can figure out what they're really doing and what they're really about. So there's another dynamic at work. And so as we feel constantly under the media attack, we have to understand this other dynamic as people are figuring out what's going on. I think there's another lesson for us in all of this, which is that when we are quiet, when we are silent, when we are not speaking up, it's easy to be made a scapegoat. It's easy to be made a target. But when you stand up for yourself, then you draw people to your side. In fact, before you stand up, there's not even a side for people to join if they wanted to. Once you stand up, then people say, you know what? I like that person. Good for them. I'm with that guy. I think we've seen that in a number of questions here in the United States. Gay marriage is one that comes to mind. As people have stood up and come out of the closet, they have shifted public opinion massively. So too, teachers must learn that lesson. Now look, I understand that students are doing spectacular things, and it was really great to hear from students here. And I know that parents have been exercising their legal right to opt their children out of these tests. But I feel like there's a particular hurdle that I want to address, which is the challenge of organizing teachers and figuring out how teachers can begin to move into the fray. It's a very high-stakes situation for teachers because students are in some ways unencumbered with, they don't pay the mortgage, you know, they may not have you have loans, but you may not have children and all of the things that pile up. You may not have suffered defeats of the past. Teachers have a harder time sometimes moving into this struggle. But when we do move, we have a potential, I think, to carry a lot of the country with us. Teachers are connected by millions of hearts and minds to the entire population. And potentially, I think that makes the attack on teachers a dangerous thing for them if it were to blow up in their face. And our job should be to make it blow up in their face.